This is Cuz the Internet podcast. I'm your host Trey.
I'm your host, Zay. Let's get into it. Is it ever okay to pay for sex?
No, it's not okay to pay for sex, but I don't judge people that do. But no, I don't think that it's. I for me, it would cheapen it. To be real, like I wouldn't want to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with me. Like that's just the way I am. Naturally, people always say dates and all these other things are a form of paying, which I don't consider that. I think that you're getting to know somebody, and there's a difference between saying, here's $200 for something, or you know what, I'm gonna treat myself to a nice night with some good company, and if we connect, we connect. If we don't, we don't. So I don't think that it's cool, but again, to each their own. Some people just find it more convenient. Some people just want the action with no strings attached. And I can't judge somebody for that. It's just that that's not the way, my mental works. How about you?
Before I answer the question, I was going to get there with exactly what you were saying about some people look at it as paying for dates. That's the form of them paying for sex. So at the end of the date, if there is no sex, do you feel cheated? Like,
Exactly.
that's not the goal of the date. The goal of the date is to actually go out, enjoy somebody's company, meet the person.
Yeah.
Sex has nothing to do with it, but that's just my stance on that. I'm going to answer your question and continue. No, I don't think.
It's acceptable. It's cool.
Well, I mean, once again, I don't
No,
think
but
it's
it's
cool for
you. It's the
me.
way you think.
Yeah,
Exactly.
not cool for me.
Okay.
But if somebody does it, teach their own. That's
Yeah.
what they do. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Now, okay, if it's domestic, if it's out of town, overseas, is it okay to pay for it then?
You know what? Again, for me, no. But with that being said, I'd be lying if I didn't hear stories of people just enjoying their time and just, indulging in that where it's as simple as breathing air in certain
Mhm.
places and people do their thing. For me, again, I just can't do it. But I don't judge, and I'd be lying if I said that it's not normalized in certain places. So I would probably be the weird one if I went out to some place and I'd be like, no, where everybody's doing it. But again, it's not for me, but I I definitely look at it a lot different or more. I definitely look at it more different somewhere else. I'm talking about the way I'll judge somebody than if it's local. Like if somebody's just going down the block and picking up, some streetwalker, I'd be like,
Yeah,
dude. But when they're out of town, I honestly don't look at people differently. When I've heard a story or two, I'm just like, yeah, do what you gotta do. So there is a different stigma with it. It's just for me, both of them are no, but there's a
yeah.
different stigma that comes along. How about you?
But once again, it's a no for me. Hard no. I
Yeah,
will never pay for it ever. I mean, I don't have to because I'm in a
you're a
relationship.
player. Oh
So,
yeah, you're in a relationship.
but I mean, even then, I could never ever see myself or pull myself to want to or care to do something like that
Yeah,
because even when I was in a relationship, in my mind, no, there was no need. I
yeah,
didn't need it that bad. I've never needed it that bad for me to be like, let me just no. There was never a need.
cool.
So this whole thing came up because I was watching the new Rory Amal,
Mm,
and that was how they started it.
yeah,
And I was like, I wonder how people think about this. I wonder what people think about this.
yeah.
So that's why I asked you. But that's neither here nor there. I was watching a video, YouTube video, the other day. Can't remember the dude's name, can't remember anything. If
Mm,
I find it, I'll let you know.
yeah.
I'll let y'all know so y'all know what I'm talking about. But it was just a random dude I stumbled across. And he was saying how he can not get a normal girl because of
Mm,
his appearance. So He does music. He's out there. He has tattoos in his head. So already because of how he looks, normal girls will not approach him. It's more Instagram models that will come across.
Yeah.
He'll come across their page. They'll come across his page. They'll chop it up, so on and so forth. So there was an Instagram model that he was talking to, and she said, "Run through." He said, "I bet." He said he got there. She was bad. She liked what she saw with him. He liked what he saw with her. She told him no need to bring anything. She got drinks at a house. They got stuff to get loose as well,
Hmm.
the herbal stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. So he shows up, cool, cool, cool. Everything's everything. They're drinking, smoking, doing their thing. And now when it comes time, she says, all right, so they start making out. And before it can get any further, she asks him how much is he going to pay her. And so he was finished. Well, nice. He wasn't finished. He was nice,
Hmm.
real nice. And he was like, okay, this has to be a joke. So whatever, laughed it off, went to continue. And she was like, nah, nah, how much are you going to pay? And he was confused. He was like, what do you mean, how much are you going to pay? He's like, are you a prostitute? She got offended, upset. No, she's not a prostitute. This is how she makes her living. This is what all Instagram models do. And this is what she's saying, kicking game to him. She said the last person she was with, she charged 10 G's. And she's like, he was a well known person. But because it's him and he's not as well known, I guess, she'll only charge him 3. He was immediately turned off. He told her he's not going to pay for it. And she told him leave. He said, all right. And he bounced. But he then went on to say, this, I'm not going to speak for all Instagram models. I'm not going to speak for everybody saying, I know how it goes.
Hmm.
But according to his story, from what she told him, this is how they make their money. They're not charging for sex per se. They're charging for, I guess, their time,
Company. Yeah.
and
Time.
sex is included in that package.
Okay.
I wouldn't pay for it either, but that's just me.
No, and that is just horrible, bro. That is ridiculous. That is crazy talk. Um, it's messed up that she even put him in that position, though. How you go chill, 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 and then be like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not saying she is a what's
Prostitute?
prostitute. I'm not calling her a prostitute, but
She has prostitute tendencies?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. It
But
is
that's
what it is,
crazy,
but
man. If I've heard stories about this, I think it's a well-known thing, or at least
hmm,
that what people say about
yeah.
IG models, that they get flown out and getting trips to like Dubai and stuff to do some weird, nasty stuff, and all these other rumors. I don't know how true or not, but hey, man, again, that's one of the reasons I hate money, man. People will shoot away all morals and self-respect just to get it. I don't appreciate that. I don't like it.
You know, we spoke about it before. I mean, people say money changes you. Doesn't change you, it just amplifies who you really are.
Yeah,
And I'm not willing to sell myself short for no amount of money. Not like that.
exactly,
To cheapen myself, no, no.
exactly.
I'd rather meet someone, get to know them, dig them, like them, and then
Yeah,
go on from there.
yeah.
I'm not trying to meet anybody. Also, do you think it's wrong to smash on the first night when you meet somebody? Do you find it cheapens that person's value, or is it
No,
is
not
what
at
it
all.
is?
It is what it is. And if you're feeling someone, they're feeling you. I think that grown people do grown things. I don't think anyone should be forced or rushed into anything. But if you're both consenting and are okay with it, I say there's nothing. I can't see how it should or why it should cheapen somebody. If respect, in my opinion, is respect. If you
Mm.
respect the person you're talking to from the beginning, after sex shouldn't change it. If you didn't respect them, after sex is not going to change it. Like that's kind of what it is, from in my opinion. How about you?
No, I agree. I
Mm,
definitely agree. I mean, maybe when I was younger, I
mm,
may have thought that way, but I still don't even
mm.
think I thought that way. So I don't even know why I said that.
Yeah,
But nah, it is what it is. If you
exactly.
really like somebody and that's what you guys decided to do, and you both consensual,
Yeah,
nobody's forcing anybody to do anything. You guys do what grown people do. That's perfectly
exactly.
fine.
And let me
But
just clear that up. Whether you really like them or not, people have it casual, people don't. The whole point is I can't see how you would judge somebody but be willing to go that step with, like, it just the sense of it, the logic of it doesn't make sense to me. Like it's like
yeah,
if you're willing to, at least like that's it. The person should be cool with you. Like you shouldn't be like, oh, she's such a, like you were willing,
exactly. And the
so
thing is, the same way you can sit there and turn around and be like, "Oh,
mhm,
she was so easy." You did the same thing, so she could say the same thing about you, bro.
exactly.
It is what it is, man. You're just
Yeah,
grown folks doing grown folk business. That's
exactly,
it.
exactly.
But yeah, that's how I feel about
No,
that.
I feel you on it.
um, saw this post. Okay,
You
so it says, so I was driving my Uber today, and this lady put her son in my backseat and said he's going to his daddy's house. What the hell? She tipped me $60 though, so I'm taking him. So if you're an Uber driver, you get a call or you get a message saying, "Hey, pick up this person." You pull up, a lady comes out with a baby. So
mm,
you're thinking you're driving with the mother and child,
yeah.
and she straps the child in the car, saying the child is going to their dad's house. Are you taking that child?
Hell no. Hell no, bruh. I'm gonna be like, listen, you're willing to tip me $60. Where does dad live? Like, I'm the type of person, even though it would cut into my tip, I would go pick up the dad if that's what the case is and bring him and da da da. I'd make him find a way, but I am not going to just take somebody's kid randomly, not knowing maybe the dad's not there and this person is just has me driving.
Exactly what I was going to say. Because I'm going to take this child,
Yeah.
drive to the dad's house. The dad's not home or the dad's not answering the door.
Mm,
Now, what do I do with this child? I'm going to have to drive back to your house to give this child back to you.
yeah.
And suppose you leave,
Yeah.
then I'm stuck with a stranger child? No, thank you.
Or plot twist. Imagine it's not her child and you're just caught in some child trafficking. Bro, I want no parts of nothing. Like I said, if you want, I can pick up the dad and I could figure out something. And I'm the type of person, again, and it might just be my ignorance, but if let's say it's $10 worth of gas to go to the dad's house, I'll be like, listen, I'll pick him up, I'll bring him to get the kid, and I'll bring him back. That might be $30 out of $60 worth, but I would feel better and I'd still get a $30 tip. That's the only way it's working for me. I'm definitely not taking a random person's kid. Nah, bruh. That I don't trust people that much. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't trust them at all. So I was
Yeah.
not doing it. Um, Another question for you, because this reminds me of um, a story that happened a couple of weeks back where there was a 14-year-old girl. She had a child. She walked into a restaurant and basically gave the child to customers and left.
Mhm.
Now, if you were at a restaurant and a 14-year-old child came up to you, gave you the child, and was like, she couldn't take care of the child and she left, what would you do? Because I'm thinking in this
Mhm.
situation, suppose she gave you the child, you go there, there's no address there. You come back, she's gone. You're
Yeah.
stuck with this child. What do you do?
I in a situation like the restaurant one or something like that, I would take the child and I would bring the child to safety, wherever that might be. But so no, I couldn't. Even if a 14-year-old kid and I could see it's a little kid and she's just like, "You can't do this. Take my kid." my heart would bleed. I'd be like, yo, just I'd take the kid and I'd be like, I tell her like I'm gonna probably bring it to, you know what I mean, somebody to with the government or
Mhm.
somebody that's trained for this.
Yeah.
But I couldn't just leave her out there, and I wouldn't trust her now with this child if she was willing to give it to me. I'd be like, like now I in my mind I can't think you're gonna do the right thing.
Yeah.
So I would definitely probably take the child and try to get the child to some sort of safety. But that's a heartbreaking situation. How about you? What would you do?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Mm.
I think about it a lot because you hear these type of stories a lot. I'd probably go the steps with adopting this child.
Oh, off the
I'd keep
top.
the child. Yeah, I would. I'd say,
That's
you
what's
know what?
up.
They gave me the child. I want to take care of the child because I know
That's
I
what's
will
up.
give the child what the child needs as
Yeah,
opposed to the person who wasn't able to. I mean, I also wouldn't hide it from the child. I will let the child know. So it's not one of those situations where they grow up and then they resent me because I lied to them their whole childhood and they don't know who they
yeah,
are. No, I will let you know. When is a good time to let a child know, though? That's
bruh. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I guess not putting the child in the system would be the right thing to do. Don't get me wrong. I guess it would be, but I wouldn't blame anybody for not doing that because again, this is something that's put on your shoulders right now. Like if you're not ready or prepared for this, I don't necessarily think you're obligated to now raise a child. Um,
mm,
that's not family or anything. And I know
yeah.
that's messed up to say, but for real. So I get you, and I don't. As far as your question, when's a good time? I don't think there's ever really a good time. Um, but it's something you will have to say. But I don't think there's ever really a good time. I think that early enough though, so that the kid doesn't feel like they're lied to, but
Yeah.
still late enough for them to understand that it was a complicated situation. So I think maybe, golly, I don't know. Like I'm trying to think
You
of a
know
good
what?
age,
I
but I don't
asked the
know.
question. I believe around 5
I think two. You know what? You're probably right. I think you're probably right.
because they're smart enough to know at that age. And you're not giving them a big, detailed
Yeah,
speech on, you're just letting them know, hey, I love you. You may not look like your
yeah,
brothers and sisters.
yeah,
Well, the reason being is because you're
yeah,
still part of our family. We still love you. It's you still give them that speech. So at least they know.
yeah.
And
No,
if they
but
have
that
any
makes sense.
questions, let them
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
When they get older, they know it's not a secret. You didn't lie
yeah,
to them. You were
yeah,
upfront with them. At that
yeah,
point, you can then give them more details if they're asking questions.
yeah.
So,
No, that's dope because I was honestly thinking later, like maybe a 9, 10. But even when I was thinking 9, 10, I was like, that's still a little too late. I think earlier, like a 5, 4, 5, 6, but 4, 5, I think that is a good enough time for them to still not put weight into it. You know what I mean? To still be like,
yeah,
oh, okay. And then, you explain it to them as easy and with as much love as possible, but still
exactly.
not, for them, they won't stress over it as though they're older and in, you know what I mean, where kids are noticing themselves and
Exactly.
might poke at it. So I
Hmm.
get you. I get you. Good age, good age. But you already said you've been thinking about it a lot, so you already got an upper hand on that age. I'm just,
Well, I only thought about the age right now
yeah, no,
because,
yeah,
like you were saying, by 12, they're already way too old. They might
definitely.
feel like you lied to them, and this is when their teenage hormones are going to start to kick in, and
Yeah,
puberty, and their hormones are out of whack, so they'll probably go crazy.
yeah,
Too young, telling a 2 year old, they don't understand what you're saying. They're still trying to put
exactly.
their fingers and feet in their mouth.
Yeah,
But by their 4 or 5,
yeah,
you can have a conversation. They can speak. They understand what's
yeah.
going on. So I feel like around that age is
Mm.
cool.
No, I feel you. And I think too young, it might feel as though you're really trying to force home the situation rather
Yeah,
than just bring it up. Like if you keep telling them from 2 and then they forgot by the time, so you keep telling them each year, I could see how that might just seem a little inconsiderate.
backfire. Like you
Yeah,
really don't want me, do you? Because you keep reminding me at every chance you get.
exactly. So I think those ages are actually good, man. I think you make a lot of sense.